इस 7 साल पुराने फुटेज को ध्यान से देखिए। यही सेम शहर आज कुछ ऐसा दिखता है। यहाँ गोल्फ कोर्सेस, स्काईस्क्रेपर्स, मॉल्स, लग्जरियस गाड़ियां, 5 स्टार रेस्टोरेंट्स, आप नाम लो एंड वो चीज एग्जिस्ट करती है। ऊपर से देयर आर अ डजन ऑफ वर्ल्ड क्लास टेक पार्क्स हियर विद मोर देन 67,000 रजिस्टर्ड आईटी कंपनीज।
क्या लग रहा है, किस मुल्क के किस शहर की वीडियो?
लंदन लग रहा है मुझे, क्योंकि बहुत ओह
जापान,
चाइना का है ना, हांगकांग,
न्यूयॉर्क।
ये शहर कोई और नहीं बल्कि बेंगलुरु है। बेंगलुरु इज इंडियाज लार्जेस्ट इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी हब एंड ऑल्सो नोन एज द सिलिकॉन वैली ऑफ इंडिया। सिर्फ ये अकेला शहर अकाउंट्स फॉर मोर देन 87% ऑफ इट्स स्टेट्स टोटल जीडीपी एंड कंट्रीब्यूट्स अराउंड 42% ऑफ इंडियाज टोटल आईटी एक्सपोर्ट।
The world's fastest growing IT city, where its California-like weather and a large pool of young tech talent has drawn over 6,000 corporations to set up base.
पर इतनी सारी टेक्नोलॉजी, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एंड डेवलपमेंट के बावजूद बेंगलुरु इज अ परफेक्ट एग्जांपल of how people can destroy a city.
The water is extremely polluted.
Water quality is so pathetic. This is all grown weed in it and full of smell, everything in it.
Bengaluru's tech corridor outer ring road witnessed an unusually massive traffic jam.
Bangalore traffic jam is a big problem. I am not capable to resolve that.
Lots of techies and other office goers have reported being stuck in traffic for nearly 4 hours.
Heavy downpour has crippled the city of Bengaluru. Several areas have been completely inundated due to torrential rains. In Bengaluru, garbage is yet again the talk of the city. Citizens are complaining of uncollected garbage for weeks together.
You believe it or not, past 15 days, not even one small drop of water we got.
Despite having a great climate and living ecosystem of lakes and greenery, हम लोगों ने इस शहर को पूरा बर्बाद कर दिया है।
The city has managed to slip to the rank of being the least livable city in India and amongst the lowest in the world.
It all started in late 1890s with the dream of a man. The dream was to create a world-class educational institution in India. उन्होंने इस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए अपनी ऑलमोस्ट आधी से ज्यादा वेल्थ डोनेट कर दी and he was none other than the father of Indian industry, Mr. Jamsetji Tata. Along with the support of Maharaja of Mysore and the Nizam of Hyderabad, the institution finally got approved and 1911 में the first batch of students got admitted. Situated in Bengaluru, the university was then locally known as the Tata Institute, जिसको आज हम Indian Institute of Science के नाम से जानते हैं। जैसे जैसे टाइम बीतता गया, the university gave birth to some of India's brightest mind, slowly turning itself into a hotbed of innovation and manufacturing. Seeing this ample amount of talent, काफी सारे Indian industrialists ने अपने manufacturing plants बेंगलुरु में सेटअप करना स्टार्ट कर दिया। Even post independence, the government of India had set up 6 to 7 of its public sector units in Bengaluru. पर अगर हम गवर्नमेंट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखें, then the availability of talented people was not just the reason. Bengaluru was chosen as the manufacturing hub also because of its well geographical position. Neither ये कोई coastal city थी which could be attacked from the sea, nor ये हमारे किसी भी land border के पास थी. So the government of India felt that things manufactured in Bengaluru were safe. They couldn't be captured or stolen by any other country. अब जब इतनी सारी development, technology and manufacturing बेंगलुरु से निकल रही थी, it had a great impact on the minds and imagination of young people who lived there. उन्हीं में से एक इंसान थे रामकृष्ण बलिंगा. He was the man who originally had the vision of building Bengaluru as the Silicon Valley of India. रामकृष्ण बलिंगा was a student of Indian Institute of Science and उन्होंने अपने करियर के स्टार्टिंग 6 साल यूएस में काफी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एमएनसीज के साथ काम किया था. After returning to Bengaluru, initially he worked at Bharat Electronics where he realized that this would be the perfect place to set up India's own electronics hub. उन्होंने उस टाइम के कर्नाटका सीएम देवराज उर्स के सपोर्ट से अपने इस ड्रीम प्रोजेक्ट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स सिटी पे काम करना शुरू कर दिया. The idea was basically to set up an information technology hub spread on a large area which will have world-class infrastructure. It would basically have everything that a company should wish for. रामकृष्ण बलिंगा ने इस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए मेन सिटी से 18 किलोमीटर दूर 330 एकड़ की लैंड खरीदी, जबकि उस टाइम पे मोस्ट ऑफ द इंडस्ट्रीज were set up in the city limits on Mysore Road and Old Madras Road. शहर से दूर जाने का reason was the availability and lower cost of the land. The first phase of the electronics city got completed in 1978 and it made headlines in all across the country. Electronic City was India's first software technology park which signaled a clear message. If you want to build something related to computers, softwares and electronics, then Bengaluru is your place.
Electronics is really like the nervous system of a nation. As a nation evolves, that nervous system must evolve with it.
With the announcement of the new computer and software policies in 1984, imports and exports of the hardware and software in India were liberalized, and this set up the foundation for a bunch of IT organizations. Slowly, all the country's major IT firms, जो कि initially India के अलग-अलग part में established थे, started shifting to Bengaluru. Along with the homegrown IT companies, global giants have begun to set up their offices in Bengaluru.
Once known for its lush farmlands, this area is now a hub for India's IT industry.
They started capitalizing on large high-tech talent who can build custom software for their businesses at a very low operational cost.
Companies here have a huge cost advantage, an English-speaking, highly educated workforce that's available at less than quarter of the wages paid in the US or Europe.
और ये फेनोमेना सिर्फ 90s में ही नहीं बल्कि आज भी सही साबित होती है. Today, the annual salary of an engineer in Bengaluru is about $86,000, which is nearly 13 times lower than the Silicon Valley's average. As a result, Ola, जो कि initially मुंबई में start हुई थी, shifted its headquarters to Bengaluru after recognizing the city's benefits. Ola UK के MD Ben Legg ये कहते हैं कि while Mumbai is a bigger and a richer city, the founders needed a lot of engineers and there's way more in Bengaluru. If you want to build an awesome product quickly, you need to be in a place where an engineering shortage isn't holding you back. Bengaluru move करने के बाद not only Ola expanded into international markets like United Kingdom and Australia, but also received funding worth $3.8 billion through a bunch of Indian as well as foreign investors. इन्हीं सारी developments के चलते बेंगलुरु जो कि पहले industries and PSUs के लिए बस एक manufacturing hub हुआ करता था, post economic liberalization it became an IT hub.
From India you can create world class companies. From India you can compete with the best in the world, and from India we can actually go out and conquer the world.
अगर हम आज की बात करें, then Bengaluru consists of multiple special economic zones and software parks which get round-the-clock unrestricted power supply. It also has moderations on tax and import-export duty fees. A bunch of government schemes allows companies to operate here very effectively without paying heavy taxes. यही सारी relaxations and advanced infrastructure makes company easier to move and become operational here in no time. इसी reason की वजह से आज 80% of all global giants have their offices in Bengaluru. पर early 2010s आते आते young लोगों के अंदर ये IT का क्रेज धीरे धीरे कम होने लगा था. As India was going through a transformation phase, graduates dreaming of a job at Google were quickly replaced by graduates who inspired to establish the next unicorn.
Their journey from an entrepreneurial idea to a profitable business was quite a literal one. The duo of Sachin and Vinny Bansal found themselves stuck in boring tech jobs after graduating from IIT Delhi. Inspired by Amazon, they began Flipkart.com in 2007.
ये mindset shift हुआ जब हमारे homegrown startups started getting success.
Hi, I'm Bhavish. I'm the co-founder and CEO at OlaCabs.com. We work with the fragmented players in this market, aggregate them onto a common platform, sell it to the customer through mobile phones, through a call center, through a website.
Because their success stories were not just for themselves, but for the whole ecosystem.
ये युवा ना सिर्फ खुद पैसा कमा रहे हैं बल्कि दूसरों को नौकरी भी दे रहे हैं.
New startup founders were getting inspiration, mentorship, and most importantly, funding from their former employees. A bunch of new startup accelerators and incubators started coming to Bengaluru to aid entrepreneurs in the startup initial stages.
इन आइडियाज को पूरी तरह से कंज्यूमर्स तक पहुंचाने के लिए एक बहुत अहम भूमिका होती है कुछ ऐसे लोगों की जो कंपनियों को गाइड करते हैं, मेंटर करते हैं एंड मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली उनको पैसे देते हैं. आप इनको कह सकते हैं सपनों के सौदागर है.
सिर्फ 2022 में ही, despite the funding crunch in the market, Bengaluru had 22 unicorns and have received a funding of $10.8 billion, which is the highest in India. इन्हीं सारे reasons की वजह से there are close to 8,000 startups established here since 2014. पर काफी सारे experts के हिसाब से this city have become a victim of its own success.
Hailed as India's garden city and then its Silicon Valley, today Bengaluru is paying a heavy price for its success.
क्योंकि over the years, अगर हम बेंगलुरु का transformation देखें, then at the very beginning it was the garden city of India because of its pleasant weather and lush green trees. It was mainly used by the Britishers as a beautiful playground, but it became an educational hub after the establishment of Indian Institute of Science. Further, it transformed into a manufacturing hub due to the talented young minds and its geographical location, which soon became an IT hub due to the electronic city and cheap tech talent. And at the end, it became the startup hub of India because of favorable ecosystem and aspiration of young minds. But all of these developments came at a heavy cost.
Day by day, it seems that the traffic in Bangalore is worsening. There is an extraordinary number of vehicles on the road and there seems to be no space on the road even for a pair of feet to walk.
Bengaluru has one of the worst traffic in all across the world. It's so bad that the city has been ranked as the second most congested city in the world.
Two-wheelers and four-wheelers
are the major contributor for congestion in our city.
यहाँ के ड्राइवर्स साल के 260 घंटे तो रश आवर के ट्रैफिक में ही बिताते हैं, क्योंकि 10 किलोमीटर का एरिया कवर करने के लिए उन्हें 29 मिनट और 20 सेकंड्स लगते हैं. All of this is because of the poor roadways, substandard public transportation and bad governance.
An increasing number of vehicles have been resulting in the increasing levels of pollution in the city too on literally a day-to-day basis.
As of today, there are more than 106 lakes in Bengaluru, and according to a study, 95% of them have been encroached upon. 85% have experienced solid waste dumping, and 80% of the water bodies mein to sewage was discovered freely flowing.
So much of dirty things. And you can see here tires. You can see here tires, vehicle tires. Thousands of years it will be here only. This was the lake where people used to drink water. Not even you can stand here. You can't touch the water. So pathetic, so sad. Feel like crying.
Monsoon के time पे तो because of the absence of maintenance and poor designs of various drainage systems, the city have turned itself into a flooding nightmare.
We are entering Crosswinds, a luxury villas in Bengaluru, and you cannot enter by walk or any other means. We had to just use boat. You can see it is full of trash, slush and garbage inside this particular apartment.
ये एक काफी contradictory situations है, because एक तरफ तो Bengaluru is struggling to manage the flood waters during the monsoons, and at the same time the city is having a possible water crisis. Water is one of the basic needs of life, and हमारे देश के किसी भी और metro cities की तरह Bengaluru faces water scarcity throughout the year, और ये problem summers में exponentially बढ़ जाती है.
Wall problem अंತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಪೇರಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಪೇರಿ ನಮಗೆ power problem.
These residents have been suffering without water, and they had to ultimately buy private water tankers, which could be ranging from 800 rupees to 1000 rupees.
Garbage management is another big mess of the city, and it's not just about the visual cleanliness. The problem is even its disposal.
People come in the scooter, they take out the packet in the night and they throw it here. I really don't understand. I mean, is this open site for what?
According to BBMP reports, Bengaluru generates around 5,500 to 6,000 metric tons of waste every day. For this, it has just 7 landfills and 6 waste processing units which have not been upgraded since almost a decade. A Bengaluru-based startup founder, Sanket says that the city was never meant to be like this. While he still praises the quality of life in Bengaluru, Nayak has seen rapid urban development alter the city during the 21 years he has spent there. He says Bengaluru used to be a retired person's paradise, but today it's just a concrete jungle. So yes, that's the downside of development.